Gotta be an easier way to do some of this stuff than what I'm doing right now. Find it later. Hey, welcome.
Hello.
Escape pod number 35, maybe. I saw we did 34 last time, but I feel like we do a lot of other things too, so it could be like Escape pod live stream number 55.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, I noticed it's putting the critiquey thumbnail for
Yeah, I know. I gotta switch that. It's the least of my problems right now, Todd.
I'm not sure that it is, though.
It's the biggest of yours.
I think it's the biggest complaint that I have.
I'll get right on that then.
That's good. I'm glad. Thank you.
Anyways, we're just working.
Just
Today.
working, just animating.
Still animating. Getting frustrated.
Very frustrated.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right, you ready to go?
yeah, I'm gonna share my screen here, Sean.
Great. Great, Todd.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Sharing.
And look at that. It just worked.
Bam. It's like we're almost getting it tech savvy here.
Almost. Almost.
Now, I thought I'd really like to reanimate this shot again.
I'm not positive. I'm not positive they can hear us.
Hold on. Start talking.
Test, test, test.
Test, test, test.
No.
Yeah, I'm hearing some stuff through the stream.
All right.
All right, so now that I got all those things broken, I need to double check and just make sure they're all broken.
Grace is here.
Excellent.
I'm trying to make sure. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure people can hear us right now. All right, Todd.
All right.
I don't. All right, you work. I'm going to try to fix our audio.
Oh, I'm gonna work. All right, we're working now. I need to reset this thing up.
There we go. You're working better now.
I'm working better. I felt it. As soon as you did whatever you did, I just felt my productivity level bounce.
Hopefully, I think I'm a little bit louder now too. All right.
Nice work.
I feel like my mic and my video changes every single time.
Yeah, it does not seem to stay consistent, does it?
Nope. Of course, now I feel like it's playing music really loud.
All right. Oh no. Oh, jeez. I'm an idiot. It's not going well, Sean. Today is not my day. Helps to have the animation turned on. Okay.
All right, Todd, can you talk?
Talking. Talking. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Excellent.
All right. Hopefully all that's better. Might just give up on today.
I'm already feeling that way. I feel like I've already done this 8 times. All right, so now if I check this. All right, so if I click on, hey, can you take a look at my screen really quick?
Yep.
So this is what I should want, right?
Uh-huh.
Where it's all separated out and I can double click, that's what I want.
Yep.
All right, so it did do it. You can do it all at one time using the one button. If you select everything, it'll do it. It just doesn't register. Like it won't, it's weird because it's like the select a bunch of layers and then convert it so like that's separate, and I can turn off the ability to animate certain things and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
But if I click on a bunch of stuff, it doesn't show it as already being done. It always reverts back to like the default. Does that make sense? Like it won't show you what the standard kind of, if it's set to be separate or if it's set to be the 3D paths or whatever it is.
Okay.
It's just weird. It's basically like it'll do it every time, but it doesn't show you what it's already set to.
Okay.
So it's like for mass stuff, it always assumes that it's not set to anything other than the defaults. But
Okay.
anyways, it works now. That probably made no sense whatsoever, but it works.
Grace is asking a question, Todd.
Oh wait, what? So would it interrupt the flow if I asked what this project is? First time tuning in, and it looks pretty cool. Yeah, so we're working on some basically little vignettes, little animated vignettes that we're going to be putting out on the Escape Pod Instagram channel of some of the classic Universal monsters. And what it basically is doing for us is allowing us to play with harmony and to learn harmony and get better with it. So Sean's been using it on some other projects. I had not used it up until, like a month ago, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of building these characters out, drawing them out. Sean's been animating in here. I learned how to rig, basic rig. And then what you can't see right now is that I'm interacting with the rig looks like this. So these are all the parts of the character or whatnot. And what I have it on my other screen because it gets too cluttered if I don't. So when you see me looking over to the side, I'm grabbing different pegs, which are like pivot points, and I'm animating those. So yeah, it's fun. This is the third time I'm animating this. But I can already tell it's so much better, Sean.
So much better.
So let's see. Yeah, all that stuff that I showed you was basically the hierarchy of how the rig was set up. So I don't know if you've used Maya before, but it's very similar to that. Well, it's not. It's similar in nature to that. But it's taken some playing, getting the rigs to work right. Unfortunately, Sean's had to deal with some issues with the rig.
No.
The first one.
Hey, we're figuring it out.
We are figuring it out. I also figured out that I need a calculator pulled up at all times. Because I know what it's 1463, 1463, but then I can't count, so let's see. So what we're doing right now is just animating these legs to kick out. So this guy's basically just going to walk across, kind of saunter across this little open section here. And when he does, he'll be fully visible like this. And when he's not, it's going to be just lines, kind of outlines, kind of different, kind of stylized. As the idea from Sean Macomber.
What did I do?
You had the idea for making Drac have the white outlines when he's not in the light.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That was Sean's good idea for the month.
Get one of them. One of them every month.
Oh yeah. And this thing still does some finicky, weird stuff.
Like what?
Like when you set a keyframe, if you like right click and say like insert key, it likes to pop down on the stack at the bottom of the screen where all the stuff is listed out. You know what I mean? Down by the layer manager thing. There's little quirks to it. Tell you what though, it's way easier animating this character the way he is now as opposed to what he was with the legs and counter animating everything.
Yeah.
That was not cool.
Grace, so if you've ever used Maya, it works the same kind of like Maya. You set keys, and then the computer can give you in-betweens. It's not always like the best stuff that it's giving you, but it'll fill in the middle. Like what I've got on this. Like right now, I'm just starting like a little breathe cycle. So I've got a key. You can kind of see these 3 keys right in here. So that's the up position, and then the down position is right here. And the computer's figuring out the middle. Again, not always the best for the computer to figure it out, but you don't have to draw every single frame.
All right, so now we take this ankle.
So you can do the same thing in this, Grace. You could just come in here and draw on every frame. So there's kind of two different ways to animate in here.
Yeah, I would say we're still learning the ins and outs of animating in here. Or at least I am. In general. Let's see. can tell work is getting done today, Sean.
Because it's so quiet?
It's so quiet.
That's how you tell we're doing something, usually. This is very frustrating, though.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to figure out what, like, once he lands in here, like, I tried to do the jump off, and then I was going to fit the stuff back in the middle, but the jump wasn't looking good, so I deleted the jump. And then I was trying to get a little breathe cycle going on, but then once you add in the breathe and give it enough time, it's getting really long. So I didn't feel that was very good, so I deleted that. Now I'm trying something different.
That's all we can do. Keep trying different stuff. Yeah, he's kind of limited. I'm sorry, I should put some.
Fine.
I was just thinking to myself, if I was going to make something really hard for Sean, what would it be? And I was like, I'm just not going to give him that many controls. So how long does one of these short animations take to rig fully animate? I think that fully depends on a ton of, there's a bunch of different factors, right? So the stuff that we're doing right now is really simplistic. And like we said, this is mostly just so that we're learning certain things as we go. If you were to really know what you were doing, I would think that some of the stuff that we're doing wouldn't take more than like a day or two, right? If you had all day, just kind of sit and work on it. Because the characters themselves to draw out take a few hours, to rig it takes a few hours, to animate it takes a while, but you gotta know what the performance is, you have to know how to animate. So I guess if your level of character animation, like I am not a good character animator, Sean is, so he can animate faster than I can. And his stuff will just look better because he's done it a lot. So I think there's a ton of stuff that comes into that. But the cool thing about Toon Boom, as opposed to like the 3D stuff that Sean and I used to work on or still do work on and teach, is that this stuff is way faster overall than having to build a 3D character and rig a 3D character and animate a 3D character and light it and everything else. This is way more straightforward than that, which is one of the reasons why we were really interested to get into it. So I don't know if that answered your question or not, but the general answer is it's way shorter than doing something in 3D.
Yep. Making sure those feet don't move takes a gotta like really stare at it.
Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's why I fixed this guy and just started over the first time. Because it's like, what I ended up doing was I made a box shape and put a line underneath it so I could always see where the foot line was.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of moved along that, but it was a pain in the butt.
I've got a, can you see this? I got a sticky note.
Okay, you're sticking it on the screen underneath it?
I put it on the screen, like right where I want the mark to be.
Yeah.
And then I can control it with the arrows and just rock it back and forth.
Nice. I mean, as long as you can rock it.
Hey, just trying to rock it here.
Just trying to rock it. I feel like I've done this 100 times. You know, it definitely is just about the posing and stuff, though. For a lot of this stuff, at least it feels that way to me right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can at least do that. Like I know enough to get like a decent pose, but I don't know how to get in and out of them. Well, I think they're decent. I'm going to show them to you. You're going to tell me they stink.
Oh, they look great. Really.
Oh, that's so good. Oh my.
Looks really good, Todd.
Oh, it definitely looks like something. Yeah, it totally looks like something.
Now, is that what you wanted it to look like?
Oh, that looks really good. If you wanted it to look terrible. Let's see.
Were you going for something like really abstract?
Ooh, that's a bad one. That's so you know. When it starts getting that kind of experimental vibe. Oh, a zinger. Oh no.
What?
Apparently my animation thing got clicked off. I was like, what is happening? The animation, you know the button, the transform button for animation? Whatever it's called. Yeah, the transform box.
Yeah.
Got unchecked somehow, and I was like, that better not got unchecked a while ago.
I don't know the name for anything in this. Just
You know the thing.
the box with dots.
Dot box.
Yeah, that thing. I keep looking down at your screen because I have what you're doing on my lower monitor. And every once in a while, I'll go down there to try to click on something.
Look, Sean. I mean, focus on your own stuff. Someday you'll get to my level. But for right now, just look at your own screen.
Right now, there's not a whole lot good happening on mine.
All right. Well, I got back to where I was, Sean.
See it?
What's that?
Let's see it.
He's just stomping. I gotta pick his feet up, like his curve his foot and stuff too, which will change it a little bit, but I've got him kind of timed out. Does that feel all right? I mean, I know he doesn't have any of the bounce or anything like that yet, but I think in terms of the timing, I think it feels okay.
Yeah. Did you get an email?
No, that was the self-destruct button. It's happening. All right. All right, Sean. So I've got this graph, right? I'm looking at the graph editor.
Yep.
And this is kind of the walk, right? Where he's going to dip down. So this is flat. He dips down and then up and across and dips down. Should I just kind of round this whole thing out?
I would select it all. And
Okay.
then hit that, that thing, and then go to the middle curved one. That one down.
This one?
Yep.
Okay.
And then I would play it and see what it looked like.
Oh, wow.
So you're probably going to have to soften.
It's when he comes up. So I think I'm going to get rid of this. Because this is only on Y now, right?
Yeah, you're only dealing with Y, up and down.
All right. Because X, I need those little. Okay, so I can strip off keyframes now from just Y, or no?
You can either, it'll be fine. You can either delete those or just pull them down. But then you'd have to tweak them.
I don't want to tweak them. All right, so that's gonna go. All right, so when I have something like this then, right, this still has that hard hit on it, right? But if I take this and pull up the center of it like this, that'll give it a little bit of ease, right?
Yep.
But do I want it, I mean, the curve, the way it displays the curve, it's still going to have this harsh edge. Yeah. It's kind of coming in and hitting there, but do I need to adjust for that, or is that just a display thing?
I mean, you will probably see it in your animation.
So does it make more sense then just to have one and have it doing this?
It could. It just depends on if you want to go in there and do that.
Hmm. Do you think that'll feel? I guess I can just do it and see if it feels too swimmy.
Yeah.
Let's do this first.
Yeah, and I would scrub through that.
See how he hits,
Yeah.
and then he raises up. I think it's okay if he raises as long as he's not going forward. It might need that overlap. You know what I mean? Like he's still coming up even though he stopped, and then he goes back into it. But that would just be one keyframe in the center then, right?
Yeah. It's music. Thought I'm dancing for you.
You're dancing?
You're not looking. Well, now it's a
Oh.
piano. It doesn't make any sense.
I thought you were seizing or something. I don't know what's going on. Hey, can I move a keyframe in here or no?
Yeah, you can't move it left or right.
You can?
You can't.
Ah, man. All right, so, but I could get, okay, I know what I'll do then. But I can just go in on Y and just set a keyframe on Y there.
Yeah. Hey Todd,
Hey,
check this out.
are you dancing? What you got? Where'd you go? Oh, man, how'd you do that? I'm sensing a standalone video when no one's watching. So you can do fun things because you're standing up.
Yeah, I'm trying to move around. My legs are getting sore, but I can't sit anymore. In general, I just can't sit. All right, Todd, what do you think of this? It's not all cleaned up at the end, but
Hang on one second.
what?
One second. Let's see.
Is the sniff big enough?
Yeah. That looks good.
All right, then he's gonna jump off. Do I need another one? He just does 2.
No, that's good. All right. There he goes.
Then he's gonna leap off.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, that looks good. Let's see. So sorry, we're not paying that much attention to the chat here. So still not super sure how rigs work, but how many of these little moving parts are involved in these characters? I just noticed you're animating the nostrils. So I would say you can have as many moving parts as you want or as you need. So you when you animate something, most of the time you're trying to figure out ahead of time exactly what it is you want to do with the performance, and then you need to build the rig so that it can do whatever those things are. It's really hard to make whether it's 2D or 3D, to make something that does like everything under the sun. There are certain things that you would want to have, like eye movements, and in this case, the nose can kind of go up and down because we knew we wanted to do those things. But really, if you're only going to do one or two little things, you wouldn't have to have a ton of complexity built into some of these things. But for instance, Sean has it stopping and kind of sniffing right now. If we didn't have it set up that way, and initially it wasn't, it wouldn't be able to do those things. So the way that this stuff works is you can actually add things onto it as you go, like drawing pieces, parts, and kind of modify things if you need to some extent, I think. But
Yep, you just need to know what you want to do.
oh man.
So Grace, it also just depends on like how simple your character is. I mean, you could certainly build this wolf man so that everything on his face is like it's all drawn on one layer, and then you don't move any of it. But it's helpful, like when even doing something like this move, as this head comes up, that jaw is a second piece, so it can lag behind and you can create a little bit of overlap. It'll help to soften things up so they don't feel so like just hard and rigid. Not to say that you need it. We were working on a thing called Banjo Birds, and I mean, there's almost nothing to that. It's a body of a bird, and nothing can really move on that other than, you can translate it around. You can scale if you want some squash and stretch. It's got eyes, but you really just kind of move those around. You got some brows, and you could make some shapes. It has a tail, but it's really just a rotation. And it has some legs, and that's all it is. In a rig like that, you can draw it and rig it, and probably be done in, realistically 2 hours, 2.5 hours maybe. These are more complex. Certainly not as complex as you can get. You can get really crazy.
Oh, Sean.
Yeah?
You think about this? You watching?
I'm watching.
It's gonna be so good.
Ooh. You're doing it.
Does that look all right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna push the down a little bit more. It's off a little bit. Something's not quite right. He needs to like scoop just a little bit more, but I took some of the keyframes out on certain ones. It doesn't hit so hard.
Yeah.
And but I think it's getting there.
All right, Todd. I'm getting there.
Getting there.
I mean, it's got a lot of cleanup, but
Uh,
all right. I feel way better now than I did at 2:00.
in terms of overall feeling or in terms of your animation?
I mean, of how I feel about the animation and whether it'll look okay.
I thought it was looking better. I know we were talking about it felt kind of cutouty and stuff like that, but I think it looks good.
Yeah, my problem right now was that, or before was that I didn't know what I was doing with it. Like
Yeah.
I had a couple of pieces that was okay, but now I have like a full like framework to work within,
Right.
and now it's just clean it up, polish it, make it look okay. And look at you. You're learning to animate. We're going to have 2 things done this week.
I don't know about that. Well, yeah, we will. This is not. I need some help with this.
I've got. I worked some more on episode 1, Banjo Birds.
Nice.
So making progress.
We're doing it. trying to figure out how to get this dip to work. Now it's like I took all of it out somehow.
Well, when I finish this one, if you want me to look at that, I can. Or it can all be yours.
No, well, we'll see. I think I'm overcomplicating this a little bit, but I just need to figure out how the heck I'm trying to do this.
Cleanup is easy, I think, on this stuff. Because there's not that much that you have to do. Not much that you have to control. And you can, I don't know, from my standpoint, you can turn your brain off when you're cleaning up. Because you're just trying to soften everything.
Yep.
It's not like you're trying to create the performance. The performance is already there, so you're just polishing. And that's the spot I'm at right now, Todd. So, no more ideas.
I'm at the spot where I'm trying to figure out what the world I'm doing here.
Where you want to throw your monitor?
Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's just, it's still kind of, I mean, it's doing what I want, kind of, not. It's the curves, the splines, and all that kind of fun stuff.
You got the bones. It's just
the tweaking stuff that's gonna. But he looks like he's dipping down a little bit, right, and coming up. But it's not. It needs to be more pronounced, and I don't know if it's the timing or the spacing of the keyframes, or it's just the tangents and the way they're kind of easing into each other.
Can you pull up the forward translation, position X? And then zoom in on that, on any of it.
See, it's like stuff like this.
Yeah.
Right? Where this probably needs to be like a line, and this needs to kind of do something like this, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's finesse, I think, a lot of it anyways. But that's where I'm gonna need some.
So what I would probably start to do is, like, you can tweak those tangent handles, but what I would probably start to do is grab, like the one you just grabbed.
Yeah.
Not the tangent, the actual key. Any of those, like that, yeah. I would start to shift that whole key down slightly.
How do I do that?
You just drag it. Yeah. So that you're helping to kind of bridge the gap a little bit.
I see. Okay, so you're kind of using the handles and pulling it down?
Well, in this case, that's what I would do, because your difference between whatever that key is, like, what are you at, 83? And then your next one, which is what, 88, 89?
Yeah, something like that.
You know, you've got a really big difference, so it's going to move really fast across that. And so you just want to maybe soften it just slightly.
Okay.
Based on what I'm looking at.
Okay.
That's
where he takes his kind of quick step.
Yeah.
So it has to be so it's supposed to be like one, and then he kind of like starts to move and then finishes the move. It starts to move and finishes the move.
Right.
So you're saying drag this down just a little bit.
Yeah, and then what I would start to do is then I would watch it.
Yeah.
Just to see. I would scrub through it slowly first, just to see. And you can scrub from that editor.
Oh, you're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better.
It seems all right. But then you want to play it at full speed just to see if that's soft. but that's what I would be playing with. Like, don't be afraid to
move stuff around.
To move the actual key.
Yeah, I think that's where I get hung up. I feel like it's already there. I can't do that. All I can do is tweak tangents and stuff, and then it doesn't feel like it's doing enough. And then, all right, I'll play with that. I think overall though, I like the way it feels. It's just needs.
It's just a tiny bit of. It's just a little bit of finesse.
And it needs a little bit more like a down. Like he needs to come down further and then up, just to exaggerate, just a slight bit more.
Yeah.
And I'll get his fingers going, and his head.
I mean, but once you have the body and the feet, I mean, you're 90% done.
All right. I got to do his cape, too. I got to get the drag on the cape. So when he comes up, it's going to kind of shift forward a little bit and then drag behind him.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right.
I'm doing it.
You're doing it. We're done, Todd.
Alrighty.
Hey, at least Grace was here. I don't know if anybody else was here. Maybe they were. Thanks for joining us today as we tried to animate.
Got some stuff done.
We got some stuff done. Congrats to ourselves. All right. I'll be back this Friday for critique time. So if you have any animation you want to bring, you're more than welcome. I'll critique anything. And that is from 10 to 11 a.m. Friday. Otherwise, see you later.
Bye-bye.